I'm Ann Campbell, and today I'm going to talk about some of the key features in SonarQube 9.6. We've added a lot of new rules in this version in some interesting categories, and I'm going to start with those. So first, ta-da! Kubernetes rules. Yes, infrastructure as code is code. You've been telling us for a while that you want to analyze it, and we've heard you. So we started by adding 1 new code smell rule and 6 new security hotspot rules. Here's an example security hotspot being raised on the use of privileged true. As with every security hotspot, with these Kubernetes security hotspots, we're going to help you understand what the risk is. We're going to help you assess whether or not in your particular situation you are at risk. And if you think you are, we'll give you some advice on how to fix it. Staying in the cloud but moving to Java, we've added some rules to help you write Java AWS Lambdas. The key themes here are AWS best practices and the use of the AWS CDK. So here's an example issue. We've got one Lambda calling another, and an issue is raised on that because the first Lambda could time out while it's waiting for the second Lambda to come back. That should be happening asynchronously instead. Staying in the cloud, but moving on to C#, we've added rules for Azure Functions this time. 6 new code smell rules with the themes of resource management, error handling, and entity interface design help you write better Azure Functions. Here are some examples in sample code. So first we've got error handling telling us to use a try-catch block in the body of the function, as well as some resource management issues. Staying with C# but moving out of the cloud, we've added support for deconstruction this time. So now you see that we can properly raise issues on the deconstruction syntax. Wrapping up rules and issues, let's talk about analysis itself. Faster analysis is a key theme for us this year because we understand that it's a key theme for you. We've been working hard this year to make analysis faster, and this time we've added something that folks have been waiting a long time for: faster Java PR analysis. We did that by adding an analysis cache at the server side. What this means is that it's independent of analysis location. So as your job moves from build agent to build agent, this is still going to work. Now, we just finished putting a bow on this like right before release, so we haven't had time to run full statistics on it yet. But in one of the test projects we were looking at, we saw PR analysis drop from 160 seconds to 20 seconds, and we think that's going to scale out to your projects as well. Now, we just proved out the technology, but it's not Java specific. We proved it out with Java, but we expect to push it out to more languages very quickly. Moving on from that, we've also improved taint analysis in this version by recognizing custom validators. Now, previously, when you used a validator provided by a library, we understood that and then didn't raise an issue on subsequent use of the user-provided data. But if you wrote your own validator, we didn't know what that was, and so we were raising some false positive issues on your code. So now we're going to recognize the validators that you write as well when they follow particular patterns. So if it returns a Boolean, it follows a naming convention that we understand, and it calls a known validator method such as a pattern matcher or a regular expression, then we're going to recognize that as a custom validator and understand that if the user provided data gets through that, it's okay to use. We've also updated our language version understanding, so we now parse properly Scala 2.13.8 and 3.1.2, Ruby 3.1, Kotlin 1.7, and Apex 54.12. For Go, in addition to the parsing, we've also updated the rules to properly deal with Go 1.18. Moving on from there, let's talk about security reports. In this version, we've added a PCI DSS report. This is about credit card processing, and the industry has 12 high-level guidelines that break down into 240 specific rules. Now, most of those are not statically checkable, so this report is only about the things that we can check through analysis, but we've added it for both versions 4.0 and 3.2 of the standard. You see both of those versions in the interface. We've also added the 4.0 report to the PDF. Sticking with the theme of security, but moving to the security of analysis in the SonarQube instance, let's talk about analysis tokens. So in 9.5, we added the ability to select a token type, so you can narrow what can be done with your analysis tokens. In 9.6, we go further to give you the ability to expire your tokens. So you still have the ability to issue a token with no expiration, but you can also limit the life of your tokens. So for 1 year maybe. Now that's what I can do as a user. As a global admin, I have the ability to limit the token analysis, the token lifespan that users can choose. So let's narrow this down to 30 days. I'm going to save that. And now when the user comes back in, which I'm going to simulate by reloading, you see that I only have the one option. Any new token I issue can only last for 30 days. Coming back to this global admin interface, I do want to show you something else related to the security of the instance, which is that you can now sign your SAML requests, and you can use assertion encryption with your SAML requests. I think a lot of people will be happy to see that added as well. Now let's talk about the interface itself. So here I am on the projects page. Your antenna may have quivered when I loaded this page because it does look subtly different. You'll see that the contrast has strengthened here in the facets on the left. We've also added some explicit wording where we were in places just using the icons to convey meaning. We did this as a way to improve the accessibility of this page. This is something that we're going to be working on through the end of this year and into next year, with a goal of making our entire interface accessible to all of our users, where sadly today it's not always doing great at that. We've started on the projects page and in a few other spots in the interface, and you should see more changes going forward. Also on the interface, in 9.5, we gave you an updated issue presentation to help you focus on the issue at hand. We've further iterated on that in 9.6 to move all of the metadata about the issue here into the header. So I've still got all of the same information I had before, but the type, the severity, the status, and so on are pulled up out of the way of the issue in code. So now I'm focused purely on where is the problem and what should I do to fix it. And of course, I still have access, easy access, to the rule description. Speaking of rule descriptions, for Taint analysis rules, we've done significant work this time to expand those rule descriptions to help you better understand from them and learn from them what's going on security-wise with your project, to give you the larger understanding so that you can fix not just the issue at hand, but maybe prevent introducing other issues in the future. So we've got the why is this an issue section that you're used to seeing. This is the basic description data. We've added to that some specific information on how to fix issues based on the framework that you're using. So we start here with JSP. If I'm using JSP and I have an issue there, I've got specific JSP related information on how to go about fixing that issue. But what if I'm using a servlet? Well, we've got servlet specific information, Spring specific information, time leaf, and etc. When I have an actual issue raised, the correct information for the framework I'm using is going to be pre-selected, so I don't even have to do the work of clicking around here. It's already ready for me when I come in. Beyond that, we've added some basic information on basically other reading. So if you want to go even further, if you want to delve deeper into the topic, the data is here for you to learn. And we've also added some fundamentals. So we're calling them security principles to help you really beef up your security chops. If you're ready to do that, we've put the information here for you so you can be a better, stronger, more secure coder. And that's what I wanted to show you this time, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.